Good morning, everybody, and thank you for attending today's webinar discussing the 2017 Group Health Insurance Options through the Chicago Bar Association Health Exchange, powered by IXSolutions. Just a couple of things here to make note of before we begin. Everyone's microphones will be muted, so we don't have any background noise, but you'll have the ability to enter questions into the chat box at any point in time throughout the presentation, and we will address them accordingly once the presentation is complete. Also want to make note that there was an individual webinar that we gave yesterday for the Chicago Bar Association members that will be going out via email for you to download and listen to if you'd like to. The same thing will occur for today's group webinar once the webinar is complete. My name is Johnny DeVito. I am the Senior Benefit Consultant here at IXSolutions. Just to provide a quick background on myself and the company, I've been with IXSolutions since our inception back in 2010 and have been very much entrenched in the Post-Affordable Care Act health insurance space. Over the last couple of years, my focus has been in the individual and group exchange market and have very much been a part of this ever-evolving industry. IXSolutions has a strong focus in the individual as well as small to mid-sized benefit space, as well as over 65 as well, Medicare products. IXSolutions is backed by 28 years of experience as a fully owned subsidiary of Flexible Benefit Service Corporation. As a whole, our organization works with individuals, employers to offer small group as well as middle-sized individual plans and Medicare plans as well. We're also a third-party administrator of tax advantage accounts and COBRA plans on a national basis. We have a fully loaded compliance department that supports our clients, making sure that they are compliant with the ever-changing laws of the Affordable Care Act. Our goal as a company is to educate and bring clarity to this highly regulated market and offer employee benefits at a cost that are affordable for both employees and employers alike. What we're going to discuss this morning on today's webinar is going to be an overview of the group market and the basics of offering group health insurance. I'll then touch on the carriers and the networks that will be available in 2017 for you to select from. I'll then cover the short history of the Affordable Care Act, which will then lead us into working with IXSolutions and the model and strategy that we build for our clients. We'll then conclude with benefits to the members of the Chicago Bar Association, and then we'll open up for questions following. Let's begin with a brief overview of the industry. There are two markets for an employee to purchase health insurance, both the group market and the individual market. If you attended the presentation yesterday, we provided some insight on the individual market, and as you may have found, the individual market is going to be the less desirable market for an individual to be purchasing health insurance in the upcoming year for the following reasons. Carriers have filed for rate increases upwards to 50% as opposed to the group rate increases that were filed on average are about 12%. Individual plans are going to exclude large PPO networks that the carriers offer, therefore not being able to have access to many doctors in the major teaching hospitals. Many of the individual carriers, or the carriers that are offering individual plans in the market, are going to be HMO only outside of Blue Cross Blue Shield, which will have its narrow network PPO once again this year. And some of the carriers, such as United Healthcare, have pulled out of the market altogether as a whole. Lastly, individual plans are more expensive when comparing them to their group alternative. In addition to that, they cannot be paid for with pre-tax dollars. Therefore, as a business who has the ability to start a group plan, you can give yourself as well as your employees the ability to avoid the significant rate increases, provide access to all the carriers and their large PPO networks, as well as be able to pay premiums with pre-tax dollars. It's important to know that you can form a group plan with as little as 2 full-time eligible employees. The only caveat there is that the 2 full-time eligible employees not be married. Continuing on, it is important to understand that or how the rates are generated in the small group market today. Health insurance rates are based off of age and can no longer be increased or decreased based on medical history, nor can they be negotiated by a broker. This means that no matter who you're working with or who you've run quotes through, the rates are going to be the same as long as you provided the same census information, which will include their ages, obviously. In addition to the rates, the carriers, for the most part, you're going to find are going to be very much on par with each other when comparing the rates side by side. In today's market, we're going to touch a little bit more on this in a minute here, but you're going to find that there are really three big major players: Blue Cross Blue Shield, United Healthcare, and Aetna. And in 2016 at least, it's yet to be seen for 2017, but the 2016 rates for Aetna just were not competitive. And when we looked at Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois and United Healthcare, we found that depending on the network that you were looking at and the plan you were comparing, the rates were between the two carriers were within 2 to 5 percentage points of each other. That being said, the small group health insurance industry, due to the Affordable Care Act, has very much become a commoditized space. Employers are searching for a way to control their costs. Really, the question becomes for these employers, which carrier do I prefer to do business with? And in addition, how do I control my cost for myself and my employees within the parameters of that carrier and the plans that I'm offering? The answer to this question comes through a payroll deduction, opening tax advantage accounts for employees to utilize, and most importantly, building a contribution strategy around the plans that you're offering as a business. This is really the value that IXSolutions will bring to the table for our clients, and this is what we're best at, finding the balance between the employer's budget and what they've budgeted for through the year, as well as the coverage level that the employees will have access to. All of these changes that have occurred as to yesterday's webinar in the individual market are specific to the individual market. So I just want to touch on carriers really quickly here. As I mentioned before, the major players in the market are going to be Blue Cross, United Healthcare, and Aetna. All of these carriers offer a large PPO network, which is available in the group market and the group market only. They all offer narrow networks in addition to that large PPO network and HMOs. The most important thing to take away from that point is that all these carriers are alive and well and thriving in the group market. All of these changes that you may have heard about in the news or from family and friends is all going to be specific to the individual market. So it's important to know that as a business, you can start a group plan and still give your employees access to these carriers and their large networks, which will include ultimately the doctors and hospitals that they're looking for. I'd like to briefly touch here on a short history of the Affordable Care Act so that everybody has an understanding of how employers are offering competitive benefits today at a cost that they can afford. With the implementation of the Affordable Care Act, we saw many small business owners drop their group health insurance plan. And at the time it made sense, and for the following reasons. The employers found that if they dropped the group health insurance plan, employees had access to more plan options, more carrier options. They could potentially find lower cost plans than what they were being offered by their employer, in addition to potential subsidy eligibility. If an employee was able to utilize a subsidy, or access a subsidy, they could go to the government and apply that to their plan. However, due to recent changes in the individual market, as mentioned yesterday on the webinar, it's simply not the case anymore. You have very limited carrier options, very limited plan options within those carriers, and most importantly, the networks are just not available. Therefore, we've seen a major shift back to the group market, and employers once again offering employees the benefit of having access to these carriers and their networks. That being said, we found that most employees enjoyed having the ability to choose a plan that was the best fit for them. They liked the fact that they had options. In a traditional group setting, their option was simply to either participate in the one plan that their employer was offering or not to participate. And fingers crossed they had access to maybe even a spousal coverage through their company. In today's post-Affordable Care Act market, with a shift back to the group model, IXSolutions can bring a hybrid approach to the individual exchange model and the traditional group model so that employees have the ability to make plan selections that they're looking for. Realistically, in today's world, employers have become the point the access point for their employees to be able to purchase the coverage that they're looking for, such as the large networks with the carriers they'd like to be insured by, having access to their doctors and hospitals. Working with IXSolutions will give an employer the ability to offer employees a number of plan options while controlling their costs on a monthly basis through a defined contribution model, meaning the employer creates a budget, and IXSolutions will build a strategy around the plans that they're offering so that the business will never pay more than what they have budgeted for, while at the same time allowing employees to pick from a plan or a number of plans that best fit their particular family needs. In a traditional group benefit setting, adding plans like this and building a contribution strategy could become a nightmare due to all the moving parts, all the numbers, all the employees having different rates based off of their ages. However, with technology, employers are able to manage their employee benefits easier than ever before. That being said, we're going to discuss now the member benefits, starting with technology, then the support, as well as compliance. Technology. When I refer to technology, I'm referring to an employee benefit platform. This platform will give employers the ability to implement their strategy and allow employees to view their plan options at a cost that they can afford per pay period. And they could do this on a computer, giving them the ability to compare plans side by side and select a plan with a click of a button, completing their entire enrollment process. Introducing technology to your employee benefit offering brings a number of enhancements to your organization. Not only will employees be able to view their plans side by side, they'll be able to compare benefits and make a plan selection online that will give them the ability to manage their employee information as well as benefit details on a platform all in one place. Employees will have the ability to update their own personal information. They'll be able to view their benefits, download useful information that they may want to know, such as how does my plan cover this particular surgery or any type of service that they're looking to have rendered. For employers, the platform will give you the ability to manage all of your employee information and benefit details in one place. Employers will have the ability to generate benefit deduction reports to be able to provide to payroll providers and deduct the accurate amount of money from each employee's paycheck pre-tax. Employers will also be able to consolidate files that will house documents such as I-9 forms, W-4 forms, all with a click of a button. And for employers who have more than 50 employees, be able to generate 1094B and 1094C report forms. Lastly, for employers, you'll have the ability to onboard new hires with this platform, requiring them to complete all of the information that they would typically complete, not information, but forms that they would complete at the time they are hired, and then be able to keep them on file all in one place. Basically, the picture I'm trying to paint here is for a new hire, they'll be able to log onto the platform, fill out all their personal information, such as name, where they live, their address, social security number, emergency contact info, as well as dependent info if they're going to be including them on the benefits. And then all that information will automatically be mapped to all of the appropriate documents that you would typically require when onboarding an employee. Last but not least, for an employer, you'll be able to house this information and manage it. So when an employee comes on, you open up the platform and they go through their normal onboarding process. Should an employee leave the company, it's as easy as logging on the platform and deleting this information, or do what you normally do with this information when an employee does leave the organization. In addition to that, making changes such as if there's a birth of a child for one of your employees, simply logging on, inputting the employee's dependent information, and then that is automatically mapped onto an employee application, which will then be sent to the carrier. The best part about this platform is that when working with IXSolutions as a member of the Chicago Bar Association, there is no additional cost to this platform in utilizing the technology. Once an employer is set up on the platform with their new benefits, employers can schedule training sessions with the IXSolutions Customer Success Team. The IXSolutions Customer Success Team will train employers and or their HR managers how to effectively utilize the platform and manage their employee benefits in a way that is seamless for both their onboarding processes for new hires and their normal HR tasks. Employers will be able to upload files such as benefit education videos. For example, how does my FSA work? How does my HSA work? In addition to, how do I file a claim? Where do I find the paperwork to file a claim? All of this is going to be housed underneath that tab in the platform. Lastly, how do I search for a doctor? Where's the link? Who do I contact? And who can help me with this? All of this can be done in one place. In addition, employers can upload really any type of video or document that they'd like to make reviewable by an employee who is a new hire of the company. In fact, we have many employers who are utilizing the platform who will upload their training videos as well as manuals and employee handbooks. Lastly, compliance. Compliance has become a very big part of the employee benefits space with the implementation of the Affordable Care Act. As a member of the CBA, IXSolutions will provide access to our compliance department, and more specifically our compliance officers that we have here in the office, at no additional cost. Our compliance officers will be able to provide a free consultation, maybe at the beginning of the year or whenever you prefer, to be able to make sure that you're in compliance with everything that you need to be as an employer offering benefits, and basically run through a checklist with you. You'll also have the ability to reach out to them at any point in time and ask any questions if you have any concerns. That being said, I would like to touch on a couple of documents that must be on file with an employer if you are offering employee benefits as a business. First and foremost, a POP document, or in other words, a premium-only plan. This plan or document allows employers and employees to legally pay premiums with pre-tax dollars and must be kept on file in the event of an audit. Second is a WRAP document. This document is an ERISA document required by all employers offering benefits or health plans that they keep this document on file as well. The document essentially wraps together your summary plan description, your summary of benefits and coverage, and any additional information that the carrier is going to provide to you on the basics of your benefits and how they're covered, or how particular services are covered. This is important because it must be made available available for review for all employees who are participating in the plan at the time of enrollment, and also at other times throughout the year. On and off exchange notices must be distributed to employees at a very specific time throughout the year. Another nice feature of the platform called Compliance Dashboard is that this will give employers reminders, notifications as to when to prepare these documents and when they should be sent out to the employees. And lastly, for all employees participating in the employee benefits, they must be made aware of these documents. And many of our current clients utilizing the platform will require that employees log on, view the documents which are housed on the platform, and then sign off that they've clicked through them and read them. This gives the employer the ability to provide proof that all employees are aware of these documents in the event of audit, and more so, simple peace of mind that they're in compliance with the law. In conclusion, it is very clear that due to the ACA, employee benefits have really changed from the way that they're offered to the way that they're administered and the way that they're managed. Technology has made it possible for employers to offer more robust benefit packages at a cost that they can afford, while giving employees the plan options that they're looking for and remaining in check with the law, as well as creating an ease of administration for all of these lines of coverage and the aspects that revolve around employee benefits. That being said, we'd be happy to help you start a group plan if you're eligible and looking to be able to utilize the large PPO networks. In addition to that, if you've already got a group plan in place as well as other benefit options, we'd be happy to demo the platform for you and show you how we can work this into your organization to create more ease and efficiency for your organization. Please feel free to contact us. We'd be happy to set that up for you and walk through that over a screen share web demo. So at this point in time, please feel free to enter any questions that you have into the question space there, and we will answer them accordingly. We're going to give everyone a couple of minutes to do that because I know this could be a lot of information to digest, and hopefully you have some good questions here to queue up. I'd be happy to answer them. All right, everybody, we got a couple questions that came in here. I'm going to walk through them one by one. So first question, can you start a small group with 2 family members at the same law office? The answer is yes, as long as these 2 family members are not married. Second question, what constitutes as an eligible employee? An eligible employee is a full-time employee of the business. What's a full-time employee? An employee that works more than 30 hours a week. The next question, can an independent contractor be included as one of the employees to start a small group? This is more of a case-by-case situation. There are carriers that will allow for this, but with strong restrictions around it. So we'd be happy to talk through this with you and ask some more specific questions about your current situation and be able to provide advice accordingly. Another question, just to confirm, a group plan must have at least 2 full-time employees, and if only 2 employees, they cannot be married. So yes, that is correct. As a business, let's call it a husband and wife business, you are not eligible for a group plan unless both husband and wife are owners of the company and can prove their share, typically on a Schedule K-1 form. If there is proof that both husband and wife are shareholders of the company or owners of the company, then that would be the only situation. Outside of that, the carriers are very strict about allowing for husband and wife groups. Another question came in similar to a question asked previously. Two eligible employees cannot be married. What about a husband and adult child? That will work as long as the two eligible employees of the group are not married. Then you can offer a group health insurance plan. Another question came in regarding plan options. How many plans can I offer as an employer? This will vary by carrier. However, we typically see in the small group space, employers offer between 4 and 6 plans and allow employees to select from those 4 to 6 plans. Ooh, another good question. I have a benefit system through ADP. Can I use your system and still do payroll with ADP? The answer is yes. We are not a payroll company. You can continue to do payroll with your current provider. In fact, the platform will actually integrate with most payroll providers. Another good question. Do officers or partners of the firm count as employees? The answer is yes. As officers or partners in the firm or company, you may not pay yourself as a regular employee. Therefore, we would just need to provide the carrier with additional documentation that proves that you are in fact an eligible member of the company for benefits. Really quick, just looking at some more of these questions that have come in here. Typically, people want to know, what do I need in order to submit a group? So I'd just like to touch on that for a minute. In a normal business situation, in order to submit the coverage to the carrier, we require a wage and tax, or in other words, an employer's quarterly contributions and wage report. This is called Form UI 340 and is going to list all of the employees that you have on your payroll. The carrier is going to look at that form. They're going to want to see that are all full-time employees being offered coverage, and then vice versa. Are all employees who are taking coverage in fact eligible full-time employees of the company? In addition, to streamline this process when it comes to utilizing the technology, IXSolutions as a company would prefer to load all of this information into the platform before we allow employees access to it. That way, all that the employees will have to do is confirm that the information is correct and then enroll into a benefit. This information is going to be names, dates of birth, employee's social security number, and home address. Okay, one more question here that I'm reading through. If I already have a group policy, can I still utilize the platform? Yes, the answer is yes. We will absolutely be able to give you access to the platform if you have an existing plan. You, in fact, don't even need to make any changes to your current plan. We would simply upload your current benefits, employees, and those who are enrolled in the plan into the platform so that you can begin utilizing it day one. So lastly, I would just like to touch on the fact that technology has 100% entered this space. It's been a thing in the large group, really large group space for a little while now. But with the Affordable Care Act just kind of rocking the industry as a whole. A lot of margins have been squeezed, if you will, and technology has surfaced through that. Only because people who work in the space need to be more efficient and faster with the way that they do things with their time. And doing it the paper route, both on an employer and employee end, as well as the carrier's end, has just become very much an antiquated process and clunky process, if you will. So we would like to be able to introduce you to this new world of benefits and the technology and being able to utilize that. It's also, more often than not, used as a benefit itself when employers are looking to retain and recruit new talent. So that being said, once again, I'd like to say please feel free to reach out to us. We'd be happy to demo the platform for you and show you how it fits into your organization and the efficiencies that it can bring to the table for you. Last thing I would like to make mention of, I'm talking about the technology being in the space these days, and in fact, it's coming hard, but it's important to know that there is a significant cost to it. So for anyone who's still wondering what the members to the Chicago Bar Association membership is, I'd like to reiterate that we can make this available to you at no cost. So please feel free to reach out to us. We'd be happy to work with you on this and help it fit into your organization and to talk through how you'd be able to utilize this and create efficiencies for yourself and your organization. So on that note, I would like to once again mention that we will be holding a live event at the Chicago Bar Association on the 15th of November at 9 a.m. And we encourage everybody to attend. We'd love to meet you face to face and to get to know everyone personally. So thank you again for your time today. We look forward to working with you in the near future. Have a good day.